Hello, welcome to Chicks and Tips. I'm Jo from MD Outdoors, and today we've got a special guest with us, Shoshannah. Welcome.
Hi.
So Shoshannah's been up in Nelson, which obviously you're from here anyway, and grown up here. But she's been out doing an awesome trip up Mount Angelus, up to Angelus Lake, with her 2 kids, which I don't know if you followed, but it's been an amazing trip from the looks of those.
It was. So good.
So yeah, if you don't know Shoshannah, she is such an inspiration, I think, to a lot of parents and single parents and mums out there for taking kids out hiking, because you've got 2 kids yourself, so they are 2 and 7.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. And from the looks of things, you're out hiking with them at any opportunity that you get.
Yeah, well, especially at the moment when the weather's so good. It's tramping season.
Yeah, for sure. So we just wanted to have a little chat with her about your trip and then some of the things that people ask you about in terms of hiking with kids. So yeah, tell us about Angelus, because if you don't know, Angelus is quite a challenging hike, I would say. A lot of people come in to the shop here and it's one of the best hikes that you can do in the Nelson Lakes, but it is quite a commitment. It's like 1,300 meters there to get up there.
I was impressed about how many people were there and how many people came in from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of people that struggled on the hike, and they came in was much harder than they expected. It was harder than I expected, but it was easier than other trips that we've done.
Okay.
And it was, I think, really worthwhile doing. So we went up from Speargrass with Mount Robert Car Park up to Speargrass Hut, and then we went up following the creek that goes most of the way up to Angelus, and I think that was the best way because we split it over 2 days.
Yeah.
A lot of people will do one night in, one night out, usually via Robert Ridge. They'll come out via Speargrass and exit with the weather.
Yeah.
But we went up along Robert Ridge on the way out because we had great weather.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really good way to do it. And I think for people that have average fitness, I'd probably go into Speargrass for one night up to Angelus. We stayed in the Angelus Hut for 2 nights, which was really worthwhile because we got to spend a whole day recovering and just enjoying around the hut. And then we walked out and it was a great experience. And the kids, they loved it because it was more challenging. Other walks that we've done that were easier, the kids just don't love it as much. Whereas we're walking along the ridge, and I thought it would be the hardest day because you're walking along the ridge, it's challenging, there's big rocks and things. But my kids are like, I'm a rock climber, and he's climbing up and down the rocks and had the best time. I think that was one of his favorite tracks.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's so impressive, that your 2-year-old could get up there as well.
I carried her. I'll take credit. I did carry her for most of the trip, but she maybe walks a good 2 kilometers at least on her own.
Yeah, that's really impressive because it's not easy terrain to walk on.
I think she likes the challenge though, and for some of the downhill, she'll be sliding down on her butt, turns it into a slide and loves it. And then if it's kind of flat, she'll be running because she likes to run, and she needs to get her energy out. I can't carry her all day, otherwise she'll go crazy. Yeah.
So that was a 4-day trip overall, doing 1 rest, 1 day out.
Yeah.
What's the longest hike that you've done with your kids?
So I've done a couple of 5-day trips. I did the St. James Walkway, which is a great one if you're doing it with little kids because you can break it up over, there's so many huts along the route that you can do. You can stay in lots of different huts, make it as long or short as you want. So we did that over 5 days and we planned to do it in 6, but we were going quite well at the end, so we just kept going.
Yeah.
Old Ghost Road was my other longest one. That was 5 days, and I did that with just the baby. She was 1 and I carried her most of that.
Yeah.
I didn't take the big one because there was a 25k day and I was like, he won't like that one.
Yeah, because what's the furthest would you say that they are able to walk in a day that you'd put to?
My 7-year-old, he could probably walk up to 20 kilometers, but we usually keep it 10 to 15, and that's nice and comfortable for us.
Yeah.
But it really depends on the terrain. So if you've got a tricky terrain like Angelus where it's very difficult, you're steep climbing. We're climbing up from Speargrass to Angelus Hut. I think it took us 8 hours, and that's 6 kilometers. But there's a lot of climbing. We stopped a lot, and I don't think I could have gone any faster without him. I think I was kind of slower than him because he was like, come on, Mum. And I was like, I'm struggling.
Yeah, but you're also carrying so much weight.
But if it's like a flat walk, I can walk much faster downhill or the flat if I'm carrying the heavy weight. So it really depends on the terrain that you're walking on as to how far we can go.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. Because on an easy track, like a great walk, we could definitely walk 20 Ks easier. It's like we've done the...
As a family. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done the Paparoa. I didn't do that with my big kid. We did the Paparoa twice. I did that first time with both of them, and we ended up having to evacuate out because we went into the first hut and it was such torrential rain that we stayed 2 nights in the hut, and then the track got closed, and then we had to turn around and go out. So that was a bit of a hectic mission. The next time I just wasn't able to get enough bookings, so I only took my baby and my sister. We couldn't get another booking for him, so we left him behind.
Yeah.
And we did that one, and she was still a baby, so I kind of carried her in my backpack. But I think he would have been able to manage the Paparoa track fine.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, it's like flat a lot of the way. And lots of people on the track, which means that he's sociable, he loves seeing people, and if there's lots of people, and especially when
interactions,
especially when they're like, oh, you're doing so well, like people are so impressed by the kids, and that gives them like a little bit of an ego boost. And
and he's like, I can walk faster.
Yeah, and then often he'll like want to keep up with the big adults, and he'll just like keep speeding along.
And how much weight is he usually carrying, would you say, if you're doing an overnighter?
I haven't actually weighed his pack.
Yeah.
He's got a 20-litre pack, and he maybe carries 5 to 7 kgs.
Yeah.
He carries food, water, and his clothing.
And how much are you carrying? Depending how long you're going for, obviously, it's going to make a difference.
The biggest trip, I think I was carrying 25 kgs on the St. James, and that was 5 days of food for all of us.
Yeah, that's a lot of food.
On a smaller trip, my pack's maybe about 18 to 20 kgs. It also depends if we're carrying tents and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Every bit adds up.
Yeah, and then plus if you're carrying your 2-year-old.
Yep, and she's about 13 kgs at the moment. So on this last trip, I think I was maybe carrying about 35 kgs when I was carrying the toddler as well.
That's so much weight to be carrying.
Yeah, my poor knees suffer a bit. My toddler carries a 5-litre tramping pack. She has to carry one because everyone else has one. She needs a tramping pack and she needs a hiking pole.
Yes, if everyone else has got one, you can't be the one that's left out.
She carries about half a kg.
Oh, that's cute.
You start them early and then they just keep working up. And by next year, she'll probably be moved up to the 10-litre pack that he's grown out of, and she'll be carrying maybe like 3 kgs, I don't know.
Yeah, and then just slowly increasing like how far you go and how challenging.
So I mean, my frequently asked question, and people always want to know, how can you go tramping with children?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you start small and you work them way up. If your child's like 5 and they've never tramped before, find a local bushwalk, find something that's close by, and then just start walking. Find an easy tramping track. Like, you look on the DOC website, look on Topo Maps, ask on your local Facebook page. Like, the information's there. Just do a little bit of hunting.
Yeah, you just got to find it. It's like how to find any track as well. Like you were saying, people ask you like, where shall I go? It's the most kid-friendly hike. So
yeah, it's hard for me to answer if I don't know where you are.
Yeah,
but
it's just finding your local information, right?
I spend a lot of time studying Topo Maps, and I will see, like on Facebook groups, I'll see someone else has done a trip and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. So then I'll go and research it and I'll think, is that doable for us? Can we do that? I'll look at the logistics.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll ask friends if they've done a trip, if they can tell me more information about it.
Yeah.
Like you were just telling me about Fenella Hut, which sounds more doable when you said it was more flat than uphill.
Yeah.
So like if it's uphill 13 k's, we won't be able to manage that. But if it's like more flat, then we could probably manage that better.
Yeah. It's always hard to find different options out there and get inspiration, I think.
But there's so many, especially if you're in New Zealand, there is so many huts. Like just in Christchurch, like there's like a dozen easy doable hikes for kids that I could list off. Like there's plenty.
And would you say you've got like other mums in a similar position to you that you hike with a lot, or other parents?
Yeah. And because we're homeschooling at the moment, so in our homeschooling group we've got a couple of other mums who we've become quite close with, and their kids are similar to mine, where they are about the same age as my oldest, so around 7ish, 5, 6, 7, 8 age, and they all love tramping as well, real outdoorsy. So we go with them like almost every couple of weeks on like some kind of trip, so either like a big overnight trip or like a day trip or something. And it's easy to go tramping with them because the kids love each other and they love having their friends to go with them.
Yeah, and so it makes it more fun.
If we go with their friends, I don't even see him the whole time. He's like off. Like he's run down the track and they're like hunting bugs and doing all kinds. Yeah, so we've made a few friends like that, and I've got especially through like Instagram and stuff, I've made connections and friends that we've been like gone on trips with, and that's been really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see social media like make those kind of cool connections.
Yeah, and just bringing people together in a similar position.
It actually does, because it attracts people that are like similar. And I do get a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to come hiking with you, and I'd love to hike with them too, but I can't hike with everyone.
Yeah, you've got to prioritize.
I've only got so much capacity.
Yeah, you've got a busy life.
Yeah, it's I didn't realize how busy it was till people were like, oh, let's go and do this. I'm like, oh, I'm so busy.
Yeah, you're like, you've got a job, you're getting out your hikes, and you've got homeschooling. It's got a lot there.
Yeah, it's a lot. Don't know why I burn out so easily. It's a mystery.
Would you say, like, your background, like, you've always been really into tramping before you had kids, so it just felt like a natural progression, did it? Or did you just get into hiking since having your kids?
Yeah, I've been tramping since I was like a toddler.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on a farm, so we've always been outdoors. Like,
yeah,
since I was a kid, I had a boat, like a little dinghy. I'd row out and go fishing. We went like fishing, hunting, working the farm. We lived a very wild life. And then my parents were really into tramping. My dad was a big tramper. I remember as a kid, he would be like dehydrating meals in the dehydrator, which is funny. I share all this stuff now and people are like amazed by it, and they're so impressed. I'm like, wow, it's what I've always known.
Yeah.
And I love that I'm able to share and like hopefully encourage other people to learn things like dehydrating food. And
I feel like there's just like there's so much to learn with like how you're going out for a hike and you suddenly got to think about so many more things around trip planning and food planning and nappies, and there's so much.
Logistics are crazy.
Yeah, there's so much to learn out there. So I think it's really cool how much you're sharing about what you do to try and help encourage other people and to give tips and things like that.
Well, I get a lot of people ask me how, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to share content. So I try to share as much as possible on like social media, YouTube and stuff, and try to give as many details as possible. But sometimes I forget stuff because it seems simple to me because I just do it all the time. It's just a way of life. And I think that's the thing, is you build up confidence, it becomes kind of normal, and once you start and you just keep doing it, it gets easier and easier.
Yeah.
Somewhat. I think you learn your capabilities, and I think that was the biggest thing that I've learned, especially since kids. So sometimes you look at something and be like, oh yeah, I can do that. But I'm in a place right now where I can see something and I know if I can do it or not easily.
Yeah.
Because I know our capabilities. I know how many kilometers we can walk. I know how much elevation we can manage.
Yeah.
I know how much I can manage. And I know how much they can manage.
Yeah. And you just learn that through your own experiences and building that up.
That's why you start small.
Yeah.
And you just keep going, and you're prepared to turn around if you need to.
And how do you feel like the getting out and going on these tramps with your kids, how do you feel like it shaped their learnings and their experiences of life?
I think it definitely gives a positive impact.
Yeah.
Because they are learning. Like every time we go out, I feel like we learn so much. Like in this last trip, I was giving him a talk about elevation gain because he was like, "What's that?"
Yeah, because you're like, you're doing a lot.
Well, we were doing it on the dock map thing before we started walking. There was like the elevation and stuff.
Yeah,
we were looking at it, and so then I was explaining about how like the elevation is like, you know, like from sea level, and hopefully I did a good job of explaining it there. But it's really cool to see how much life learning they do, and so I think like no matter what, like if you get your kids out tramping at least once or twice, the impact is huge. And I see a lot of people that they don't go all the time, but they'll go out like once or twice, or the kids will go on like a trip, and you just see how much of an impact that makes just one trip does. Yeah. Because they actually really get to fully immerse in nature. They get to like learn stuff. Like my kids know how to forage. Like they see snowberries, like, oh, snowberries. They see hotapita and they're like, oh, this is spicy. Like they recognize stuff. They know about elevation gain because they've experienced it, and they know about hardships and challenges and working through challenges. And on this last trip, there's a few times where he was struggling, and I was like, look, I know this is hard, but you can do this. You've done hard stuff before. And we kind of talked through it, and then he did it. Yeah. He got the rewards, and that's a great feeling. Yeah. And I think that's a great life lesson to teach them, is perseverance and working through hard stuff.
Yeah, and it just gives you more confidence, I think, in life going forward as well, and being like, I can overcome that.
It's given me huge confidences. Yeah. Like I've had plenty of mental health struggles, and going tramping gives me a sense of accomplishment. Like, yes, I can do something that's really hard, and I feel good at the end of it.
Yeah, because you still have those fears, and the times you're doing it, you're like, why am I doing this?
No, sometimes on trips I've had the worst anxiety, and I'm overthinking things, and I'm like so worried. Like,
you're like, what if this goes wrong? And
on
this
this
goes
last
wrong?
trip, I didn't pack enough lollies.
Yeah.
Disastrous, because I thought I'd packed enough lollies. I forget how much my kids eat, but I was so grateful because there was a couple of people in the hut. One of them gave us a bag of sour worms. The hut warden gave us some of her leftover food because she was like walking out, and I was so like, we would have
thank you, we need this to get down.
well, we would have got by without it, but it just made the trip so much better.
Yeah,
because lollies help significantly.
Yeah, then that's just learning each time you go, right?
Exactly. And I mean, I've been tramping my whole life, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Still making. So I know some people have been like maybe felt daunted to go. Daunted.
It's daunting. Yeah.
Daunting to go with someone tramping, or like go tramping if they see someone else doing it so much. And I just wanted to say that, like, I've been doing it my whole life, and I still make mistakes, and I still forget stuff, and I still don't get everything right.
Yeah.
And I'm just learning.
It's so easy to make an easy mistake, though. Just something you're like, oh my god, that's so obvious. How did I not think of that again?
No, it just
happens all the time.
You gotta be okay with making mistakes, because you will, and you're not going to get it perfect. I mean, I've taken some people out tramping for the first time ever, and some of the things I've done, I'm like, oh, that's a bit terrifying, but also like, or like, I think one lovely person took canned food, like big canned food,
like in tins,
but they learned that first trip. After they came back, they were like, yep, I don't think we'll do canned food again. But it's a learning experience, and I've seen that before many times where people take like big heavy canned food, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you have to think about like, oh, is it going to be good carrying that for a long time? Like, for an overnight trip, a short one, it's not a big deal, but I think that's why you start small. You learn what you need and what you don't need, and then you
progress.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing everything, Shoshannah. I feel like there's just like a whole world of things that you can learn, and that you have so much information in this space that people would love to learn more about. Is there anything, like one kind of tip you want to say that's like maybe someone wanting to get started of what? One thing
just start.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just go and do it. You want it. Like, people are like, oh, I want to do it, but I'm scared. You have to push through the fear. No one can do it for you. You have to literally just do it. And if you don't have the gear, borrow the gear.
It doesn't need to be the best gear, like with kids.
The first time I went tramping with my toddler, the first time, I hadn't been tramping in a few years, I decided to go on my first tramping trip overnight with my toddler. I borrowed a tramping pack. I borrowed a cooker. I bought the cheapest tent I could find. And I just went. I didn't even have a PLB. Big learning experience. Always carry a PLB now. But I'm just saying, like, you just go and you just do it, and it's okay. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thanks so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
It was awesome.
I love sharing information. I want to be able to encourage people to get outdoors more, because I love it, I benefit from it, and I want to be able to share that with other people. Yeah, and just getting, like you say, just getting out there, getting started, and see where it takes you. Everyone's on a journey with where it can go. Yeah, and come into an outdoor shop like this and ask them for gear advice. That is like the best thing ever, coming into an actual physical shop and talking to people, because they can offer you a lot of advice and wisdom, like getting your pack fitted properly, like all those little things like that, because that makes a big difference. Yeah, it does make a difference, for sure. It does. I've been helped a lot, like, through that. Yeah, that's cool. So we love what you do, Shoshannah. I think it's so inspiring, and if you want to find out any more and follow some of her journeys and get some really cool hints and tips for hiking with kids, then check her out on all the social media: YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything. It's all under the same name, Shoshannah.nz. Yeah, perfect. Cool. And we'll see you next time for Chicks and Tips. Awesome. Thanks. Bye.